Obsidian inserting an entire river basin of clean water into the lore is a problem neither we, nor a desperate wasteland, can ignore. But first, people need to find out that the lake and river basin is clean before they can start moving there. The first people to find out will be the locals, and they will learn the hard way, as anyone who drinks from irradiated sources inevitably winds up dead. Maybe someone struck it lucky and found a Geiger counter or two, minimizing losses. Either way, people will figure out pretty quickly that the Colorado is safe to drink, or at least isn't irradiated. After that, by charity or by trade, the purified water will find itself in the markets and pockets of neighboring states. As the water spreads, so too does word on where it came from. There are few things in the world more precious than clean water. Such goods sell easy and sell far at ever-increasing prices, passively coaxing buyers in the market to move closer to the source for cheaper prices, or simply just to skip paying. What else have they to lose? But any such journey is easier said than done. For example, the distance between Los Angeles and Las Vegas is roughly 270 miles. At a walking speed of about 3 miles per hour and walking 12 hours a day, you would cover 36 miles a day. It would take approximately 8 days to walk this distance, in perfect conditions. Considering the state of things in post-war America, it could take you up to 2 weeks, if you survive the journey. We can't really know how many people would leave. As soon as word reaches them of an oasis of pure, clean water, some may hesitate out of fear of the journey, or that it is a lie, while others are blinded by the idea that they must remain where their homes are, to try and rebuild what was lost. Those who do go would send back word, or return themselves to their loved ones. Such would be the exodus that it would empty out each of these states, of all but the most stubborn, pre-war preppers and loner hermits. Anyone with family would be more than eager to move. Radioactive fallout would inevitably seep into tapped aquifers. While deeper wells might offer some protection, even vault aquifers get irradiated. Shallow wells would be highly unsafe. If one could be found, it would be a miracle, practically unique, and unlikely to produce a substantial amount of clean water. No matter how well they prepare, such individuals would die alone in their personal vaults. This point is far more devastating than you might realize, but I'm going to tease you with population theory crafting first. It's most relevant, I can assure you. We're going to make it easy on Nevada, and say within the first 6 months, only the neighboring state's survivor populations will travel there for clean water. We're still going to calculate the rough population of every state in America, though, as eventually, if there is no other large body of clean water, they will all travel there. For now, we concern ourselves with the neighboring states' populations. But how do we figure out how many people lived in each state? This is not explicitly mentioned. Because of this, I have created a population table to break down the real population of each pre-war American state. The percentages were gathered by Stats America, Census.gov, and World Population Review. Then, using 400 million as a baseline, translated into probable population of 2077 America. As for the rest of America, you can see their numbers on the table. This is important to know, because we're going to make things easier on Nevada and kill 99% of each state for our theoretical nuclear holocaust scenario. This will not be the true number, as some states are more valuable to target with nukes than others. The damage is made harder to guess, as we discovered in our nuclear proliferation research, because without classified information, we can only guess the global nuclear weapons stockpile. That said, most estimates I've read suggest a minimum of 95% population loss to complete nationwide extermination after a large-scale nuclear attack. We also can't know how many would survive the violent aftermath, especially people once reliant on law enforcement, who will now be responsible for their own safety. Anyone who doesn't own a firearm will suffer any degree of violence the armed desire. We also don't know how many people will survive the journey to Nevada, since potentially everyone will be on foot. Most vehicles will either be outright destroyed by the blast, or subject to the EMP after effect of a nuke detonating. On the upside, with such a large body of radiation-free water, horses will now survive in this timeline. Those who have access to such majestic beasts shall surely employ them on their journey, and would be more likely to survive it, covering more ground in a shorter time, outpacing most threats. Back to the miserable stuff. Considering this is the largest scale possible, mass nuking of America while still having a population left over, and that, seemingly the survivor towns, are only several dozen people, even 200 years later, I'm still going with 99% losses. Even with House preventing the nuking of the New Vegas Strip, it isn't exactly crowded. But it soon will be, as the survivors of the war are coming for Lake Mead's radiation-free water.